Hello and welcome back to the Struggle City podcast. It's so good to be here. It is a Saturday night in the Parkland. We're going to be talking about the Parkland quite a bit. This is going to be a series, multi-part. Today I'll just do a little bit of an introduction of two cases, one of Derontae Martin and the other Timmy Dees. Just a light overview. We're not going to dig too much today. We'll just see where it goes. I've been in contact with the mothers of both young men, and I hope to have them both on the podcast at separate times to talk about how who Derontae and who Timmy were as people, and get some insight on the cases and where we are today with them. Small towns, it's kind of an overarching story about small towns and secrecy and things of that nature. Small towns are weird. In some cases, everyone knows your business. In other cases, people get really quiet. In both of these that we're going to talk about today, people are very quiet. Some are asking questions. Some hope the questions go away. We'll talk about these cases, and like I said, we'll see where they go. I'd like to hear from you. If you can get at me on Twitter, just search Struggle City Podcast. It'll pull me up. So let's start with the first case. It's Derontae Martin. This is a really interesting case. This takes place in Fredericktown. Let's just listen to the 911 call on April 25th, around 2 a.m. A call was made.
Madison County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
Yes, I need the cops and an ambulance. Yeah, apparently a guy just shot himself.
You said a guy just shot himself?
Yeah.
And that's it?
Yeah.
And is that where you are?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is he breathing at all?
Yeah. No.
Do you think he's beyond any help? Do you want to try CPR?
I somehow got in the back of my... Okay.
Okay, you're cutting down.
Hang on a second. Okay. I can't even get transferred. Hey.
Can you hear me?
See if he's breathing. Thank you, yes.
He is breathing?
He's gasping for air, they said.
How old is he, do you know?
How old is he, like? Maybe 20, 19, 20, 21, somewhere like that.
Shot at?
In my head.
In the head?
Or, you think, I can't really see him back there.
Is he alert at all? Is he conscious?
He don't look like it.
And when did this happen?
3 minutes ago.
You said 3 minutes ago?
You.
Okay, you're hard to hear again.
Anyway.
You're cutting out, sir. You're cutting out. I can't understand you.
Trying to find the spot where I can talk. Hello?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Right when I called you,
What was your name?
James Lee.
All right, so the claim is this. Derontae Martin, a 19-year-old young man, football star at a local high school I went to, Central, who's in the prime of his life. He's trying to improve his SAT scores to get into college to play football. He's working 2 jobs, Walmart and I think a restaurant. And he goes with his friends to a house party in Fredericktown, Missouri, 90 minutes south of where his mother lives, in Ferguson, I believe. His mother's name is Erica. And he finds an attic closet at this stranger's house that flies a Confederate flag and shoots himself in the temple. That makes no sense. Let me tell you a little bit about Derontae. Like I said before, I'll save a lot of it for when I talk to Erica, hopefully. And we'll get into more about who Derontae was as a person, but he saved his family from a house fire. So he's a local hero. Like I said, football star, big brother type. Everybody likes him. Big smile, big laugh. No one thought that he would do such a thing. So this autopsy is done by a local coroner. Everyone kind of knows everyone. The autopsy report says that Derontae has something like 600 milligrams of methamphetamines in his system, which is insane. No one knows Derontae to have done that sort of drug, or any drugs. Derontae, big kid when you think of someone that does meth. I mean, come on. But anyway, so that's the claim, is that he finds an attic closet and he shoots himself in the temple with a stranger's gun in a stranger's house in a rural area 90 minutes away from Mom's house. Oh, I think his grandmother lives locally. Also, Derontae had his hand in a cast because he had had surgery on his hand. So, that's the story. Now, Derontae's mother, of course, and the rest of his family, they're furious at this point, and they're trying to get answers. They're getting nothing but silence, stonewalling, crickets. And so they eventually get their own autopsy. And when this autopsy comes back, it tells quite a different story. And it tells that Derontae died by violence, which is what I think everyone already knows. So, goes to a grand jury, and the grand jury finds that Derontae died of violence. Now, at this point, you would ask yourself, okay, great. Let's go arrest ourselves a killer. Let's go arrest ourselves some conspirators. I'll give you one guess how many arrests have been made. 0. Yeah, none. No arrests. Well, I take that back. James Wade was arrested, but for something else, something unrelated. If you want to hear something even crazier, there was another supposed suicide at James Wade's house. So, yeah, there's that. Now, James was arrested on, what were the charges? Let's see. Yeah, he was arrested on a shots fired incident. It was a separate incident with another man named Jacob Graham. So yeah, that's that. That's pretty strange, huh? I'd like to hear your opinion on it. I'm Strug City Podcast on Twitter. Let's have a conversation about that case. Man, that 911 call is so weird. You can hear a young girl in the background say something to the effect of, "I hate this," and the caller, who I'm assuming is Mr. Wade, seems maybe bothered by the whole thing, like inconvenienced. I don't know. What's your take? I'm interested in hearing what you have to say. Why do you think there's been no action in this case? Do you think it's just plain old racism? Is it incompetence? The second case I'm going to cover, we'll dig a little bit deeper into maybe the local politics. My next case is that of Timmy Dees. You may have seen his missing pictures floating around Facebook or different social media. His mother, her name is Barbara Hall. And if you drive by the courthouse in Fredericktown, which is a tiny town, probably less than 4,000 people. Now, she's not from the area. She's actually from St. Louis, which is about 90 minutes away. And she stays near Fredericktown just to find her son. And I think as a parent, if you're a parent, you can relate to Barbara also. Two strong mothers in these cases. I look forward to talking to both of them. Now, Barbara was actually booked to speak with me. She had a death in the family. She recently lost a nephew. So condolences to her, and keep her in your thoughts and prayers. Now, Barbara, her son is Timmy Dees, and he went missing in February. He is 26 years old. Now, Barbara, it's hard because she doesn't believe that he is alive. So when I refer to Timmy in the past tense, it's kind of from Barbara's perspective. It's not intentional. So Timmy he grew up in southeast Missouri, not far from Fredericktown. When he turned 18, he wanted to work, and there just aren't a lot of opportunities in this small area. So he moves to Creve Coeur, and over the course of about 8 years, he starts doing different jobs like a rigger, setting up stages for concerts, things like that. He liked music a lot, which is why I kind of felt a connection to Timmy in a way. I first actually ran across this case when I saw his missing picture on social media, and it said tattoos, bottle of ranch, and a pizza roll. And I just thought, I just got a sense of a sense of humor, but it's not actually from a place of humor. It's out of tribute for his brother Michael, who died of a drug overdose. He had long battled mental health issues, addiction, things like that. And so Timmy got a tattoo of a pizza roll and the ranch dressing on his calf as a tribute to his brother. It was his favorite food. So anyway, in February of this year, one of Timmy's friends from Fredericktown offers to pick him up, take him back to his old area for the weekend. And Timmy was excited. He's going out to the country on February 25th, goes to Fredericktown, and when Timmy doesn't call his mother over the weekend, she didn't worry too much. He's a grown man, 26 years old. Now, by Monday, when she doesn't hear from him, she starts to realize her text messages aren't going through. She starts to get really worried. A few days later, she reports her son missing. She gets a call from the friend who had taken her son to Fredericktown. He'd been arrested on a warrant, and this was unrelated. But he calls Timmy's mother over the jail's video conferencing system, and she recorded the call, and in the video, he was just really unkempt and sort of dirty and, just looked bad. And this friend starts using this verbiage that's kind of worrying. Stuff like, I'm going to do everything I can to look for him. I'm worried, Barb. I love you. I love him. I don't want you to think I hurt him. Stuff like that. And this is really strange. And she starts asking questions like, why would you say you'd never hurt him? What did you mean? And so anyway, I digress. Around 1 a.m. on the morning of February 28th, Timmy was last seen on a security camera footage at a gas station in Fredericktown. He drew some money out of the ATM. He played the video slot machines. No big deal. Seemed happy. Totally fine. About 3 hours later, almost 5 o'clock in the morning, someone makes a 911 call from Timmy's phone. And the call goes to the Madison County Sheriff's Department. It wasn't recorded. And he says something like, someone is chasing me. Now, since the call isn't recorded, no one knows for sure if the voice belonged to Dees or if someone was using his phone. After that mysterious call from Timmy's phone, Timmy's mom says that deputies with the Sheriff's Department, they went to a house on Village Creek Road in Madison County, north of Fredericktown, which is between, Fredericktown and Farmington. Now, there the deputies arrested Timmy's friend, who had traveled to Fredericktown with him on an outstanding warrant. Others there said that Timmy had been there that night, but had already taken off. So it's like he vanished. On any given day, you can find Barbara Hall at the courthouse in Fredericktown holding up a sign that says, "Help bring me home." Has Timmy's face on it. $10,000 reward for anyone that can help find him. She actually is not from the area. She's from St. Louis, and she's staying with some folks so that she can be closer to where her son disappeared. She says she's not going away. She doesn't think that Timmy's alive. But no one's seen him. No one's heard from him. The sheriff there in Fredericktown in Madison County, Katie McCutcheon, she says that the lack of closure on this case causes a black eye for her department. She assures everyone that she's working with the Missouri Highway Patrol on the case. But Barbara, she claims that the police aren't doing enough. Vloggers everywhere are claiming cover-ups. The sheriff there posted on their Facebook page that their deputies are receiving threats and harassment, which is terrible. She says, and I quote, "I'm hiding absolutely nothing. We're covering up nothing. All the Facebook warriors are getting on Facebook saying how we've got all these suspicious deaths in the county. Yes, people come here. They shoot themselves. They die. I can tell you that every death we have, if it is somewhat suspicious, we call the Highway Patrol. They have more experience. They have more education. They deal with murders every day. We deal with a murder every 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years." End quote. People are angry at this sheriff. As Barbara puts it, quote, people pull over all the time when they take a flyer from me and they say, "Man, I hope you find out something. This whole town is corrupt. We hope we get some answers and something changes in this town." End quote. So the local officials are taking some flack between this case and the Derontae case. Derontae's family had to go and get their own autopsy and fight tooth and nail to get a grand jury. The grand jury ruled in their favor, and we still haven't seen an arrest. What's going on? It's so weird. So, with that said, speaking of threats and harassment, I just want to put out a little disclaimer on this episode. I don't want anyone that listens this to badger, bully, or harass anyone. I'm going to have some interviews, most likely, coming up, and people are going to have their own opinions, and I just want to put it out there that these aren't my opinions. They're not the opinions of the barn. They're not that of my affiliates, any of the other podcasts under the barn umbrella. So don't harass them. Leave them alone. They're not my opinions. I only do this because way back, I'd say a couple years ago, there was a local case that I commented on, and one of the local towns charged me with harassment. This was on Facebook. I had to get a lawyer. They had to argue my case in court, and it ended up dropped. But not after quite a bit of money. So let's not do that again, alright? So leave people alone. I am so glad that we had the chance to hang out tonight. It's been a beautiful weekend. We've had a drought here, so we've had some rain, and I've been fighting the battle against the drought. The water in the garden's been a full-time job here. But we're glad for the rain, and boy, things are going great with my family, and we're just doing better and better. Everybody in the family's doing great. My 17-year-old daughter joined the Navy recently, or the Navy Reserves. We're so proud of her. She wants to be a Master at Arms, which is basically military police, but it's different in the Navy. It's called Master at Arms. My toddler son, haven't talked about him yet. Maybe in the future. I don't know if anyone would be interested. But he's my best buddy in the whole world, man. We spend the whole day together. When he was born, his name's Elliot Smith. And when he was born, he had strokes. So he's had some issues, some health issues, and he's in some therapies. He has 3 therapists that visit our house every week. One for speech, one's occupational therapy, and then the other's physical therapy. He's doing so amazing. He's like saying words. He's not quite 2 yet. But he's saying all kinds of stuff. I'm super proud. I just can't brag on him enough. But if you pray, or if you just want to send us good vibes, pray for Elliot. And my daughter Josephine, as she enters the Navy, she still has a year of high school left. I hope to have her on maybe an episode. We'll just have a little conversation and talk about the future, talk about the way the world is and her perspective. Just to kind of put this episode into perspective, a couple days ago, former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was assassinated giving a speech. A few weeks ago, Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court. That's weird as hell. That's a sentence I never thought I would be recording on a podcast. But anyway, with that said, I'm going to end this episode. 2 interesting cases. Let's talk more. Reach out on Twitter. This episode brought to you by Amara's Apparel. They do all kinds of shirts and embroidery. If you liked Amin Sykes in my past episode, that's his business. And I want you to check him out. He's a great guy. We like to support our friends here. So with that said, you have a great evening. We're out. Struggle City Podcast. See you next time.